Welcome to the new sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven. A mix of today's hits and hard-to-find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at UBNradio.com.
Good afternoon, everyone. You have tuned in to Distill It, a 360-degree view of life in sports. My name is Wendy Rosenthal. I'm one of your hosts. My illustrious, amazing, fantastic, and Croatian, partly anyway, co-host, Miss Ayrush Switzer is here with me.
Hello.
We are in the beautiful studios of the Universal Broadcasting Network in downtown Hollywood. And yes, I'm going to say downtown Hollywood because I always look at the beautiful...
There is no downtown Hollywood.
There is. We're right in the middle of it.
We're in
When
Hollywood.
you drive down the street, you see the Hollywood sign. We are right in the middle of it.
And that's just Hollywood.
Exactly. It's downtown. Anyway, we are very happy to be back after a couple weeks summer break. And we are here with our esteemed, wonderful engineer, producer, Jarvis Essex. Thank you, Jarvis, for being here with us today. He is in for it as well as everybody else because we have done what many people caution against doing when you are in the entertainment industry, and that is to work with kids.
Yes.
But fortunately, there are kids, and we love them. And the reason they're here today is because we thought, first of all, summer is a great time to do something a little bit light and fun.
Yep.
And also because, you know, we like to look at sports from all different directions. And we talk a lot about kids. We've had coaches on that talks about how they coach kids, and we've had parents on that talk about how they usher their kids through different sports. And we thought, well, why the heck aren't we talking to the kids
The
themselves?
actual kids. The kids can tell us how they feel.
Exactly.
About sports.
So we are here with our kids to talk sports. We will introduce them in a minute, but as we usually do, we want to encourage you to join in the conversation. We want to hear from you in our comment section on our Facebook page where you can see the stream live. Also, you can call into the studio at 323-284-7826, or you can Skype in at UBN Guest 1 on Skype. And, you know, if you have some kids you're sitting around with and they want to give their opinions, we would love to hear it. So please feel free to call in or comment anytime. Also, before we get started, you know, we always like to recap a little bit of what's been going on. And I think it has been a very, very busy 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, actually.
Yeah. Just a full month. It's been a busy time.
It's been a great sports time, right?
Yeah.
It's been really fantastic.
This
And
weekend was lots of fun. Lots of good Wimbledon we had.
I was going to say, we need to congratulate all the winners of the major sporting events this past weekend, basically.
Yeah.
So
fun time.
My heart breaks for the fans of Croatia. I was one of them.
But fun game.
Great game.
Yeah.
But congratulations to France on winning the World Cup.
Yeah.
Yes, you'll get your chance to talk about it in a minute. Novak Djokovic won Wimbledon for the third time? I can't remember. Sorry, it's not off on the top of my head.
Yep.
As well as Angelique Kerber. So very exciting for them. I felt a little sadness. I kind of wanted to see Federer get into the finals again, just because, you know, he's just been doing it for so long and he's so good.
Right. But it was fun to see.
It was. I actually think Wimbledon just went by and nobody really paid that much attention to it because of the World Cup.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
excuse the sound effects courtesy of David Switzer. Also, we had the British Grand Prix with Sebastian Vettel winning, which was a very exciting race that I happened to watch. Was there anything else that happened this week in sports?
There was so much stuff
so
going
many
on.
things.
So many things going on.
Controversies for sure.
Yeah.
The news that Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson are going to get together. Ava and I had the opportunity to debate that topic on
confirmation bias,
which you should check out. We'll be posting it on our Facebook page, which was a very nice invite by the league ambassadors to their vidcast. And finally, before we move on, I'm wearing a different hat today. You might be wondering, what is your hat today?
Tell us about your hat today.
My hat today is, you know, every show, I like to kind of pay homage or give a nod to either the topic or the guest that we're having on. And of course, since we're having our kids on, I had to wear my son's baseball uniform hat. So that's what this is. And the name of the team, and I'm sorry, I always get a chuckle out of this when I say it.
Yeah, I can not.
We're the Blue Rocks.
Yeah.
The Blue Rocks.
The Blue Rocks.
Yay, Blue Rocks. Okay. Yes, thank you, Jarvis, for that. Okay, now that we have covered all of our requirements before starting the show, we're ready to move on. And this is going to be the opportunity for you to meet our kids. We talk about them a lot. They all three are avid sports fans, avid athletes, and we wanted to hear from them on all sorts of topics. By the way, also, if you want to ask them a question specifically, please
they would
feel
love
free.
it.
They would love to hear it. So let me introduce, without further ado, Ms. Heloise Switzer.
Welcome.
Wave hello.
Thank you.
Mr. David Switzer.
Hello.
Hello.
And Mr. David Swinney.
Hello, everybody.
All right, guys.
Hello.
Now, like we talked about in the car, we want to hear from you. We have some questions for you, and feel free to answer as long, as little as you want, and to talk to each other and tell everybody what you really think about sports. Ava, you want to kick off?
Who wants to get going? Heloise, do you like sports?
Yeah, I love sports.
What do you love about sports?
I love that I like a lot of things I love doing lots and lots of things like art and writing and other things like that. But sports is really where I found like my place, and like I just love sports, and my favorite sport is soccer, and because I just found my rhythm there.
Music to my ears.
Yes. I was hoping you were going to say your favorite sport is football. That'd be American football, but I guess not, huh?
No.
Rhythm there?
No.
Probably my last favorite sport.
Oh,
I don't
really?
Like football. I don't like tackling people.
Oh, but you like, well, we'll get there. Okay. Oh, I heard a little.
I love to tackle football.
You love football?
I love football.
Okay, why don't
Yes.
you guys tell us why you love football?
That's why I'm wearing a Texas.
Oh, yes, I should have asked. David, why are you wearing a Texas hat? You know that Ava and I went to USC. What's wrong with you?
Because my dad likes Texas and he was born there.
Bad reason.
And what's going to happen when USC plays Texas this fall?
Texas is going to win.
Fight on
Wrong.
Trojans. Fight on Trojans.
Fight on.
No, fight on Trojans.
That's going to be the ringing endorsement they're going to play it.
Texas.
Oh, choose.
I know you don't need that.
no.
Troublemaker.
That's the best thing ever.
I'm just kidding.
So
Okay,
Heloise,
then let's boo USC.
Oh, okay.
so Heloise, what sports do you play?
In school, I played volleyball. I was the only girl in my class on that team, and they were much older girls than me on that team, but I really loved playing volleyball and getting that experience because every Sunday before then I would go to this volleyball practice, and I just did all the skills that I learned from those volleyball practices into my games, and I loved it. And last September I played soccer, and my team, we were Blue Flame, and we won championships.
And you guys worked hard for that.
Yeah.
What is that like to work so hard when the game is on the line? Can you tell me from your perspective?
Yeah. Before we were all nervous. My entire team was nervous because this was a team, the only team we had tied, so we had to play them. Every other game we had won, but this was the only team that we had tied, and we had a lot more fear. But we persevered through all the challenges that they put out there for us, and we just believed. So.
And you know what I remember about the championship game? The big challenge for you guys was the referee.
Yeah.
Remember how much talking we did about that? The referee was another
Yeah.
player on the field. Can you talk to us a bit about what it's like to have a referee that maybe you don't feel is calling things quite as fairly as you would like? How was that affecting your performance?
So there were a lot of calls that didn't get called that should have been called, and I felt like he was going for the other team because it was easier for them. It was like he was a player on their team. And
You felt like he was a player on their team?
that's how, like, he didn't even say anything to us. But, like, I just kept going. So
That's a great attitude. You didn't get angry at the referee?
I kind of did in the middle, but I just kept going.
Just kept going and you did what you know how to do.
Yeah.
Good.
And how did the game end up?
Well, it went all the way to penalties.
Oh, always so painful.
Yeah.
Painful.
And we were tied, but they had gone first, so they made it.
Yeah.
We had
So David and David, you guys have been playing sports together for like your whole lives, right? Like since you were
Yep.
3 and 4.
Yep.
So let me ask you guys this question: How does it feel like when you go onto the field and you see your team there? Do you love it?
Yeah.
What do you love most?
Playing.
Go ahead, David.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, okay.
I
What-
just like playing.
You just like playing?
Yeah.
Do you like being on a team or do you like playing by yourself?
On a team
What's the best part about playing on the team?
that you have more fun.
Oh, because you have teammates?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Is it about the high-fiving or is it that you get to like help each other win the game?
Help each other win the game.
Really? That's fantastic. And how do you feel about your coaches? You guys had some good coaches the last couple of years.
Good.
Yeah.
I like them. Yep.
What's the
They
most?
were good.
They were good. What was the most important thing they told you?
I just don't remember.
You don't remember?
No.
Did they tell you to play fair?
Yes.
Did they teach you anything like how to throw the ball?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's good, right? Have you ever had a coach you didn't like?
Nope.
No? Boy, are you guys
Nope.
lucky.
Heloise, you've had lots of different coaches. Any favorites?
I would have to say my favorite was Coach Eric and Coach Adriana, because Coach Adriana would like always have fun things. Like we had a pancake breakfast with her at her house.
Yeah.
And
I just have to
we
say,
went
do you
to-
think that the famous athletes of the world get excited when they get pancake breakfast with their coaches?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like it.
You think so?
I feel like
Yeah.
I want to be there.
Don't pay us millions. Just give us a pancake,
us a pancake breakfast.
Okay. I'll make pancakes.
And what about
with
Coach Eric? What did you learn
chocolate
from him?
chips.
Coach Eric just made everything fun, and like he really understood what we were going through in every game, and he was really helpful to us, my entire team.
Can you talk to us a little bit about what it means to be having fun playing sports? I mean, we've had conversations with people before where they really say, you know, at this point, all it really is about having fun. Just focus on the kids having fun. But do you think you need a bit more than just fun? Do you think you need to have a little bit of discipline and take some time to learn skills? Or do you think really the focus for you always is just get on the field and have a good time?
Can I talk about France yet?
You can in a minute. Let Heloise finish.
Fun to me is having fun on the field, but also putting out the skills you've learned in your practices and being disciplined, like not always just being uncontrolled, but having discipline to really focus on what your goal is.
Right.
You think it helps you when you play sports, David?
What?
We can hear you. Do you think when you play sports it helps you in like things like school? Does it help you focus or is it separate for you?
For me, it helps me focus, yeah. 'Cause sometimes it's not always about the focus, but it's what I go to first, like in math questions or riddles or something like that. I think of the balls or how much players are on the field when I'm playing, or how I have to pass to anybody on the field on my team to do something. So I really get help from that. It's like my first go-to.
That's great. David, you wanted to talk about France?
Yeah.
What did you want to say?
France was good.
They were? And you were happy they won?
Yes.
Okay, why? Tell us why you like a particular team. What makes you like a particular team?
Since England was out on fourth, I had to root for France.
Ah, so you were rooting for England.
And then I was rooting for France.
And how did you feel when England lost?
Sad.
You felt sad? How about you, David? Did you feel sad when Croatia lost in Colombia?
I felt,
Yeah?
Yeah.
You did?
well, I felt good when England beat,
Colombia?
yes,
Watch out what you're saying. Do you know who you're sitting next to?
Era.
Yeah.
But you guys had lots of fun, even though Croatia lost. Because what did we do?
Yeah.
On Sunday, I took the kids out to the Croatian-American Hall in San Pedro.
It ended up on the news, by the way.
And we were on the news. We were interviewed on the news afterwards.
and what-
But I said this to the kids. I don't know if you remember when we were on Confirmation Bias and they asked us, what did you love about sports? What do you really remember being the
Right.
first thing that helped you fall in love with sports? And I said to them then that I loved watching the people around me watch sports
Right.
and really enjoy sports. And so
Yep.
I told the kids 20 years ago, I was at the Croatian American Hall with my grandmother and my father watching Croatia debut at the World Cup. And so now, more than anything, of course I wanted Croatia to win, but the very best thing about Sunday was being back at the Croatian American Hall with my kids doing what I used to do with my grandmother and my dad.
Also, when we were at Universal, we got to see Fox when we were at Harry Potter Land.
Oh,
Nice.
We
right.
saw Fox.
You mean Fox News.
Yes.
Thank you for
Yes.
that. No, I think that's one of the most amazing things about sports is that it's timeless and it runs across generations, and
Right.
it really does tie you to your kids. I mean, I think one of my most favorite moments, and I talked about it on the show a little bit before, was when I got to take the two Davids
Right.
to the Rams playoff game. You guys remember that?
Ooh, that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it was
Rams won.
No, the Rams didn't win, but we had such a good time. And one of
I
the
just forgot.
But that's the thing. That's what I was going to say. You might not remember who won and what the score was, but you're going to remember the feeling
exactly.
of being there, and you're going to remember who you were with.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter what the score is.
Exactly.
Then it's just about having a good time.
Creating those good memories.
Yeah.
And it's fun to have those memories around sports.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you guys, okay? So, when you go to school, do you think that the fact that you play on a team helps you when you're having to learn things in school?
Yep.
Can you tell me how?
I just forgot.
You just forgot?
For me, it's when my teacher puts me in groups. I think of how I work together with my teammates to show off our skills and try hard to make goals and do what we came to do. So, when I get put in groups by my teacher, I think of my soccer team and how we work together and cooperate.
I love hearing that.
Yeah. Well, that's
Very cool.
Now, this is a controversial topic for us here, guys. I don't know if you know this, but
We're still in Hollywood.
we still are in Hollywood. That Aira and I like to discuss the idea of you guys getting trophies at the end of every season and medals and things like that. So I want to hear from you. Like, how do you think it would be? Would you miss it if you didn't get a trophy?
Yeah.
You
I
would.
miss it.
You would.
Yes.
How does it?
I would if I didn't get first place. I know it's hard, but I know that next time I can come back
David.
and try harder.
Don't do that.
So what about after karate class, for example? You guys go to karate twice a week, and after every class, you guys get a prize. Do you
Yeah.
need that?
No, we don't, because also what the prizes are, they're not good prizes. They're cheap.
So if they were good prizes,
So if you're watching
Even if
Roka
they were
Karate,
good prizes.
step it up. Step up your game on the prizes.
so wait? Let me ask it a different way. Do you guys try harder? Do you guys try harder because you're getting the prize at the end, or is the prize is just fun to have?
Fun to have.
So you think that
Maybe it's fun to have, but the prize to me is learning new skills and learning new things about karate. And it's not about the prize. It's not about the tickets or anything like that. It's about the skills that you get to learn. So
how do you guys feel? Do you think that if you didn't get the prize, you'd still have fun in karate?
Yes,
You would.
I would.
But does having the prize make you work harder? David and David?
Yes.
It does make you work harder?
no.
No? You're going to work just as hard no matter what?
No,
Yes?
I disagree with him.
You
So
do?
would I.
Why do you guys disagree with David?
I just want to
It's
work harder.
it's not about the
Travis
prize
is
to
cracking up.
work harder. It's always trying your best. It's not about the prize at the end that you get. It's about trying your best and really working hard to learn new skills, really focusing, really paying attention to learn new skills. It's not about the prize that you get at the end. It's about the skills that you learn.
Now that's what I agree with.
He's like, yeah, I'll go with
I'll
that
go
now.
with that one.
I'll take it.
I want everybody to know that these answers are coming from them.
Yeah.
There was no prep.
None.
That Heloise is the literal poster child for all sports and athletes, and she's doing it all on her own. No, but it's great. I mean, this is what the kids really think, and if they said something different, that's why we wanted to do this, because despite the squirminess and the sound effects you're getting in the back,
Was I the one that thought about this?
No.
yes, he was. David said he wanted to come on the show, and it prompted me thinking that maybe we should have them on the show. And then Ava and I mulled it over for a long time and agreed it was a good idea.
Minutes.
It was
Minutes.
Yeah, real long time.
last morning. The morning of yesterday.
Yes,
The
exactly.
morning of
Yesterday.
No, but I mean, it's. I think it's important because I feel like we debated a lot about whether kids should have the prizes and the
Right.
trophies, and it's good for me to hear that it's not the end all be all, but
Right.
they like it and it means something to them.
Yeah.
Does it mean something to you? Actually, do you care about the medal you got in football last week?
Yes,
You do? What did you get it for?
hard work.
You did? Is that what they said? It was the heart medal, right?
Yes, heart.
A heart medal.
He put in
Lord.
he put in his heart into the game.
He went to summer camp for 5 days. He earned a medal. And you paid how much for that medal?
But listen, But what did Heloise bring with her today?
A bunch of trophies.
That's right.
Yeah.
So obviously it means something.
Medals, trophies.
A bunch.
I got this for winning the championships. It's not for other things. I got this for winning the championships and working
I didn't know
hard.
that.
Yeah.
I just
The other
whole
team
season.
didn't get these
I just didn't know
medals.
that.
I think it's really important to know. Ooh, I think it's really important to know that you have some friends that are watching, guys. So Benji says hello. Just
Yeah,
saying.
Benji. I told everyone Benji was watching.
There you go.
Benji's
Okay, I want to know so Heloise, your favorite sport is soccer. Do you find it that hard that not a lot of Americans really watch soccer as much as they do other sports?
Yes.
Kind of, but it doesn't stop me from still loving it. David, does it stop you from loving anything if other people don't love it? Your friends don't love it?
I
Does it
love
stop you?
I love it.
No.
I love whatever.
So you keep loving it?
I love everything. Except water slides when we dunk underwater. That just terrifies me.
I don't want to go underwater. I don't want to go underwater slide, period.
Last time
I'm
I
there
went
with
on
you.
a water slide was with my mom.
That's right.
I went bubble.
It wasn't.
And what
It
about
was terrifying.
I
what,
love water slides.
It was just terrifying.
but a sport nonetheless, right?
So,
Water
Heloise, I
sliding?
have a question for you.
Yeah.
You
And
talk
then-
about loving soccer, and I know it's your favorite sport, but you also try so many other sports. And you always talk about the sports that you haven't yet tried that you want to. Why
Yeah.
is that? Why are you always so eager to try something new and learn a different sport?
Because right now I know my favorite sport is soccer. I love it. My heart goes to it. But softball, tennis, other sports.
Mm-hmm.
I could also find my passion there. I don't only have to have one best sport.
You don't.
I love sports. So other sports I could like them too. I could find my place in them, also my passion.
I agree.
David, you say you want to say something?
Yeah.
What would you like to say?
It's not about winning the game, it's about playing it.
Oh, that's so wise.
And it's also about having fun.
That's right. So
Trying
for
new
you,
skills.
I'm still afraid of water slides.
well, that's okay. But
I'm
you know
not
what?
afraid of them.
But let me ask this question, David. David, let me ask this question. You know, when you're afraid of things like water sports, is the fact that you go out and
Water
try
sports?
water slides, does it help you to have courage because you go out and try new things in sports?
Does anyone see how big that water slide is? The picture.
David,
Focus.
Okay.
You've been asked a
think?
question.
What do you think? Does it help you? Does playing sports help you have bravery and other things?
Yes, and I also like water sports.
You do like water sports. You just don't like water slides.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
David, what did you want to say?
Nothing. I just need water.
Oh, you just need water. Okay,
I
well,
need
if you want
water.
me-
The talent needs a refreshment.
It wasn't in their writer.
It was not. We failed
That's what
you.
you
We
know,
apologize.
Jarvis is cracking up in the back. Okay, I want to hear David Swinney. What's your favorite team of any sport, in any sport?
Any sport?
Uh-huh.
I had to go get my water.
I have either the Trojans or Texas.
Go
So,
get it.
any Trojan team or just football?
Just football.
Just football. Okay.
And Texas. Or Texas.
And why is that?
Because my dad was born in Texas.
And why do you like Trojan football?
They're just from USC.
Ah. So basically what I'm hearing you say is that, you know, sports is also like a familial thing, right? So from your point of view, the reason that you love those teams is because you love us, right?
Yes.
Oh,
I also need water.
you also need water. Okay. We'll get you some water. Heloise, what about you? Who's your favorite?
Hello, everybody.
Well, like we were talking about, because at soccer there are a lot of different people that love different teams, but it doesn't change my perspective on the teams that I love, the teams that I think are my teams.
So
And who are your teams?
You guys just copied each other.
Very important question.
Okay, I'm like my mom, so in soccer it's in order: Colombia, Croatia, Nigeria.
And England.
No.
Darn, no way. And France.
No.
Okay.
I love USC. I've been to USC, the college, and I love it there.
Have you ever been to Texas?
I've been to USC.
Have you been to Texas?
Don't think so.
Nope. I just
So do you see David
you
more
have
excited
it.
now to continue on with
I'm
team
just
sports after
kidding.
this last year? Flag
Yeah.
football and baseball and
Totally.
yeah?
I
No,
liked my flag football camp
Yeah.
5 days ago.
Do you
no,
see
2.
Do you see yourself playing sports for a long time?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Now I have another question for you guys, for all three of you. We're talking about playing sports, watching sports, but what about something like Madden?
Madden.
Yes.
Oh!
What about playing sports that way? Does
I
that
get to
excite
test out
you?
Madden 19. Everyone knows that.
What's exciting about that kind of game?
Yeah, it's really fun.
What makes it fun? That you get to choose the players that you want?
And you get to choose different teams.
And,
But I don't know what Madden 19 is going to be like. Surprise on August 10th.
and what's
So if you had a choice and you could sit and play Madden on the computer, or you could go out and play flag football, what would you choose?
Actually do both.
Both. At the same time?
Yes. My first day of of football camp, they asked us what we would like, what we would do. And I said play Nintendo while playing flag football.
All at the same time.
And I was about to say play Madden while football.
Ah.
I would be like, Nintendo, hi, yeah.
So what do you get from playing the game that you don't get from going out and playing, say, in the yard with David or throwing the football around? Why is it different for you?
Because we're not with other people.
So you don't need other people to play. Is that what you're saying?
Well, there's no other people to play with.
So it's something you can do all the time anywhere. Whereas football, you have to go to a field or a park, right?
Yes.
Okay, but it doesn't take. Does it take away from how you feel about going out to the park and playing?
No.
You love to do both?
Yes.
Okay. And you know, one of the things that's so interesting is that my nephew was just visiting, and he plays Madden, and you were playing FIFA today, weren't you? World Cup FIFA.
Yeah, I was playing FIFA.
And you know, he actually met some people, you know, because they connect online together.
Yep.
And the kid that he met online lives here, and he lives in Texas. So when he came here to visit, they actually had a face-to-face meeting.
Wow.
And the interesting part about it was the
Wait, Reed?
Yeah,
Oh, Reed and... Yeah, I remember. We went bowling.
that's right. Even you met him. And it's so
Yes.
interesting that, like, nowadays,
And I have to tell everyone something. They met on Fortnite.
they met on Fortnite, but they also play Madden and other
Yes.
sports
Sure.
games together. And the interesting thing is that's becoming
Fortnite?
like part of almost as important a part of team building.
Mommy, this
for
is only
kids.
for you,
Right.
but everyone else can hear. It looks like Fortnite is really fun. That's
Okay,
why I want
you're
it.
not playing it until you're like 10, so get over it. So anyhow, it's just really interesting that that's how those relationships are being built now.
Right. It's like online dating.
It is like online dating,
Right.
Sort of in a weird way. That kind of that you went
and
to a
that's-
weird place.
Oh, well, and it's not. It's not.
Fortnite is not
Doesn't
weird.
Played
excite
it
me.
before.
Yes? What? I didn't hear you.
I played it before.
What's the difference for you guys?
Fortnite? No, you can't.
Okay, what's the difference
No,
for
you
you
didn't.
guys
You watch
to
videos.
watching?
He watches
Wait,
videos.
so we have a question from Jamie Hartwick, and she wanted to know how was it for you guys? Your mom was watching the World Cup, like, you know, night and day, whenever it was live, and I guarantee you that you guys woke up and watched it with her. Isn't that true?
Yes, there were a few times that she was screaming for a goal, and that was my alarm in the morning.
FIFA's great.
At maybe 7 o'clock in the morning.
FIFA.
Sometimes 5 o'clock in the morning.
But sometimes 5.
Want me to do FIFA?
So,
World-
how was it for you guys to watch me enjoying the World Cup?
I feel like this was the first time I really got into the World Cup after I knew soccer.
Yeah.
I knew the sport. I knew what was happening. So this was from a whole different perspective.
And I love that perspective because
Yeah.
what you're saying is that 4 years ago when you were watching the World Cup with me, you hadn't yet started playing soccer. So the change in the last 4 years that you've taken up soccer yourself, you've had lots of experience playing the game yourself. So this World Cup you felt much more invested because you knew what was going on,
Yeah.
having personally played the sport. That's a
So
good point.
after watching so much sports at home, and you guys have been to some games. I know your mom has taken you to some games, and like I said, I've taken the boys to football, and we
Right.
went to go see a Galaxy game the other night. What I want to hear from you guys is what's the difference for you watching sports on TV versus going to the game? What do you like better?
Going to a real game, of course.
Oh, really?
Why?
Of course. Why?
Games in real life are better than just TV.
It's always interesting for me because sometimes I go to games and there are people who are loving it,
Yeah.
just watching it. And sometimes I go to games and there are people that don't even want to be there, and they're just there making everybody mad.
Yeah.
So it always depends.
Yeah. It's interesting to see people's
Yeah.
reactions around you. Does it affect your personal enjoying experience? I mean, is it easier or harder for you to enjoy the game you're watching if you see people around you
It's
not as
harder.
interested? It's harder?
It's not
Yeah.
hard, I promise you. Whatever we're saying.
It's not hard for him. He enjoys it no matter what.
I try and get them out of my head, but it's not like they're gone. They're there, but they don't want to be there.
Yeah.
So it's harder, yeah.
Sure.
Do you guys feel the energy? I don't know if you remember, David, when we went to the Rams football game, did we sit down once the whole game?
Yeah.
We did?
No.
No.
We were standing up the whole time.
Did you guys feel the energy of the crowd?
Yes.
Did it make it more exciting?
I
Yes.
was tired that whole night because we were standing up the whole game.
Yeah, it's also exhausting. You get into it more physically, don't you,
Yeah.
than when you're just watching it at home.
Yeah.
And if you had a choice, what would you rather do? Go to a live game or go
Live.
Heloise?
I always like to see the people and see it, so I would always go live.
Yeah.
What about you, David? Live or at home?
Live.
Live? That's cool. And
Live is the best.
and let me ask this question. What what team, well, if you went to we're wearing him out.
Keeping you up?
We're wearing you out.
There's a prize at the end of this.
What do you David, put your headset on. Thank you.
I'll leave it.
Sorry for that little back, what is it called? Whatever it's called.
Background.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
An athlete.
What kind?
Football.
Football? What position?
Wide receiver.
Wide receiver? And if you can meet any famous football, basketball, baseball, soccer player right now, who would it be?
Whoever is the best.
Whoever's
player on
performing the best
England.
right now, that's the one I want.
No, whoever is the best player on England soccer.
Whoever's the best player on England soccer.
Yes.
Okay.
And baseball, I would like to meet the Dodgers team.
The whole Dodger teams or anybody in particular?
Whole.
The whole team?
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder if we could work that out. What about American
Soccer?
football?
Oh, American football. Okay.
What team's your favorite?
Seattle.
Seattle? What is wrong with you? How are you my
Ryan
child?
likes it.
Oh.
I have to root Seattle.
You have to, and who do you want to meet? Do you want to meet anybody on the Seattle team?
I have no idea what their names are, so why not the whole team?
The whole team? That's a good question. And tell everybody in the world, because I know that you'll probably say it, who's mommy's boyfriend?
The Seattle's coach.
Not even close.
Oh, the Rams coach.
There you go. Thank you. Okay, Heloise, moving on. What about you? Do you want to be an athlete when you grow up?
I do. I want to do lots of different things. I do gymnastics usually every Tuesday. I do a class. Today I'm here and I love it. But
Thank you for making the sacrifice, missing gymnastics class to come do the show.
But I love gymnastics. I love being flexible. I love gymnastics. It's like it's not as close as I am to soccer, but I love it. So
you want to be an athlete when you grow up, or you want to do something else in athletics, or just part of?
I want to
Part of
do
everyday life.
lots of things when I grow up.
I love that.
I don't want to just do soccer. I don't want to just do gymnastics. I don't want to just be a nurse. I don't want to just be a doctor.
You want to do everything.
I want to do lots of things.
Well, you can.
Watch out, world.
Me too. Watch out, world. Here
And
we
David
are.
Schwitzer, how about
Here
you?
we are.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Baseball player.
Baseball
Whoa.
player. Amazing.
What position?
I don't know any of the positions.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You've
what
tried
about
all of
first
them.
base? What about second? What about third? What about striker?
Let's be striker.
Oh,
wanna be a
that's the
striker on
one
base.
that catches the ball. Most likely.
Oh. And David, do you have a favorite athlete right now? No? No? You like them all?
Yes.
Who?
Todd Gurley.
Todd. I love Todd
Gurley.
Gurley. He's one of my favorites.
Giddy.
I
The
agree with
running
you.
back for
Right now I have
Rams.
a few,
That's right.
but in gymnastics, it hasn't changed for years. It's always Gabby Douglas.
Oh,
Oh,
she's
wow.
phenomenal.
So she would be the one that you would want to meet and get
Yeah.
her autograph.
Yeah.
And tell me why. Like, why do you admire her?
I'm tired.
I watched
You've had a rough one.
I watched a movie about her, and just her life and how she became the person that she is just phenomenal. Her story is phenomenal. I love it.
Is she somebody you look up to?
Yeah.
And do you feel like that, like, her journey to the Olympics is something that you would undertake? Because doing that takes a lot of work. Do you have an aspiration to go to the Olympics?
Yeah. I would love to win a gold medal in gymnastics at the Olympics.
Wow.
That sounds good.
I've never heard this.
I would love to.
Okay. It's a conversation for us to have.
And tell us, what is the hardest thing about playing sports for you guys?
It's usually always the opponent. For me, it's I don't know if I'm as good as them. That's what I first think. That's my first opinion. If am I as good as them? And they're not they're not always happy people. There are some people that we want to meet after the game. We want to meet, and there are some people that just want to go home after the game, even if they won or they lost. It's not. They don't want to be around happy people. So that's basically it.
And what do you do when you feel like you're not going to be good enough? Or what happens when you have a bad day or a bad game? How do you recover from that?
I know that next time I can try harder, and with a team, it makes me much more confident, so I'm usually not thinking that for a long time, but sometimes I think that. But with the team, I feel way more confident.
So your teammates help you build yourself up?
Yeah.
It's a nice support system to have, isn't it?
Yeah. Just all the people that you meet on your team.
Yeah.
And how does it make you feel? Like, all of you guys, and because I've watched you all play, all of you have had, like, great plays in a game, right? So I know David has had some diving stops on his T-ball team, and my David has had also some
Touchdowns.
You've had a couple of touchdowns. You've done really well, and I know Heloise.
And I made a big touchdown when I was in flag football.
And David Schwitzer's had some great tackles in flag
Yes, he
football
has.
where tackling is not allowed.
Exactly.
And he's decided he will tackle
really
anyhow.
good. He's really good at it.
When we were at real football, like flag, not camp, last summer, someone was going to trip me, but I just got out of the way.
Yeah. And you had a good blocker, because David, that's what he likes to do. And I know Heloise has played on volleyball team at school, and you played in soccer teams and basketball. And so the question I have is, how does that make you feel when you have a great play? Like, tell me about it.
I've had plays like in volleyball. We were at an away game, and it was in the second half of the game, and I just kept getting the ball, and I kept passing it out of bounds, and then it took me like a million times to get it, but once I finally got it, I felt really good, and I made a point. So.
And so does that feeling help you to push yourself harder, to practice more, and to have that feeling again?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And to never give up, because even when you're failing, you just keep going, and eventually you're going to get it.
There was this time that a pass came over to me. I put it back over, and then it came over to me again. I slid on the floor and passed it back over, and I made the point.
Wow.
Amazing. Well, we are, if you can believe it, just
Out
a
of
couple
time.
of minutes. Yeah, a couple of minutes left. I got to tell you guys something now. Of all the guests we've had and all the shows we've done, you guys are by far our favorite guests. And I've had a blast. Because I tell you guys all the time, of all the things that I do in my life, the fact that you guys get to be here and be a part of it makes everything so much better. So thank you so much.
I couldn't agree more, and I want you all to know you have lots of fans. We've had lots of people saying hello and sending their love and support and asking questions, some of which I asked to you guys.
Do you guys think
Mommy's
that?
on my computer?
That's why I'm on my computer, so I can see what's going on.
Do you guys think you might be able to come back someday? Join us again?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'll
okay.
check my calendar, but I think I'm free.
I think I'm free on Sunday.
I mean, on Sunday, he's free on Sunday. She'll check her calendar.
Jarvis, David's going to have his own show on Sunday. Can you be here for that? We want to thank everybody watching the show who has been supporting this. We know this is a little bit kind of unconventional, but truly I think that the kids really represent what is great about sports and how it transcends generations and how it really does help kids connect to who they are, to see all of the aspects of life, like we're always talking about at the distillery, that sports is a metaphor for life, and they are the absolute representation of how that plays out. And so this is why we encourage anybody who has kids to get them involved, because it truly is something that is connecting, and it's thoughtful, and it
in any way, I mean, we've seen kids show up and maybe not be a part of the team and be on the field, but certainly be a ball boy or be a water girl and have just as much fun, feeling connected, and bringing a really good value to the team. So there's always a place, a way to contribute.
Exactly. And please, we can't wait to see you guys in a couple of weeks' time. I believe the date is July 31st, if I'm not mistaken. We will be back with an amazing guest who we'll be announcing soon. And also, we want to encourage you to please follow us on Instagram, on Facebook. Please like us. We are on Spotify, iHeartRadio, CastBox, Stitcher. Who am I missing? iTunes. So please feel free to download our podcasts. And again, as always, we really appreciate you being here, and we look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks.
I have
One more question. Final word.
And everyone see the show on Sunday.
Yes.
All right.
Say goodbye.
Shows that make you laugh. Shows that make you think. Music that moves you. It could only be one place. Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com.